Today, we're celebrating the 10th anniversary of The Witcher 3. On May 19th, 2015, Witcher 3: The Wild Hunt hit the shelves, and the gaming world hasn't been the same ever since. We live in an era of fast content. Even groundbreaking stuff fades quickly. Big hits come and go, and that makes The Witcher 3 extraordinarily special. 10 years have passed, and millions of players all over the world are still passionate about this game. Hi everyone, my name is Rome, and welcome on ARRIO. In this video, we look back on how Witcher 3 has reshaped the gaming industry, inspired millions of gamers, and why it keeps staying in our collective consciousness for a decade already.
We did it.
Let's make an experiment first. Perhaps you remember the most recent Indiana Jones game, released in December 2024? The gaming community has praised the game, and for a few weeks it felt like everyone talked about the game. Just a few weeks later, the hype was over. And today? Well, it feels like everyone has long forgotten about this Indiana Jones game. Now, let's compare that with Witcher 3. 10 years after release and people still talking about this game. Sure, Netflix has its Witcher series, and the books by Andrzej Sapkowski are back in the spotlight. But let's be honest, when people mention Witcher, they mostly mean Witcher 3: The Wild Hunt. So what is the reason we keep coming back to Velen, Skellige, and Kaer Morhen? And why we just can't let go of Gerald, Ciri, and our other heroes?
Gerald! Ciri!
The first and actually the most important aspect making Witcher 3 truly outstanding is the storytelling and the moral ambiguity of the decision-making. On our journey, we meet kings, sorceress, soldiers, mages, and all kinds of monsters. Every single of them, even some monsters, has his own agenda and his own goals. That is, you really feel the world alive, with all the wars, intrigues, and different motivations of the different fractions. The game constantly forces you into situations where it's up to you to decide their fates. Yet no good or evil can be distinguished clearly. Your values and your worldview are constantly questioned and shaken. Is it better to sacrifice orphaned children to save a family in distress, or to protect those children at the cost of the family's possible destruction? Is it right to kill a man-eating monster, knowing the villagers provoked its rage by killing its kind first?
The Nilfgaardians burned the woods down, killed its mate, smashed their eggs. Thought they'd fixed things.
It's always the same. Instead of sending for a professional, they try to do it themselves, only end up making matters worse.
This gray morality remains unmatched. Aside from Knights of the Old Republic 2, where morality is blurred in a similar drastic way, I personally cannot recall any other game that even comes close enough to the quality Witcher 3 offers.
Take him. You must put him in the oven. Trust me.
Take care not to hurt the child. Give me the feed.
In the oven. Throw him in the oven.
Not only are the choices difficult or even impossible to make, but many of the choices are also not always obvious. And most important, the consequences last far beyond the moment. Imagine saving a random traveler from bandits. At the time, it feels insignificant and is easily forgotten. But later, that very person could become key to an important event, shaping an outcome in ways you never expected. That's The Witcher 3 at its finest. Whether it's the main story or a side quest, you're always caught in the middle of intrigue, betrayal, power struggles, or just the raw unpredictability of human nature. There are no simple answers. One moment, you're slaying a beast. The next, you're caught in the political chaos of war. Witcher 3 is complex, unpredictable, and dives into the human nature like no other game.
They say it's the game of kings. That chess teaches one to think strategically. What a load of rubbish. Both sides have identical pieces. The rules stay invariably the same. How does this mirror real life?
Many even refer to this game as to Game of Thrones of video games. And honestly, it's a fair comparison. Sure, it wasn't the first game to master storytelling. Titles like Mass Effect, The Last of Us, and GTA 5 came before. But what sets The Witcher 3 apart is how its stories are intertwined, how your choices lead to surprising consequences, and how it offers rich, morally gray narratives instead of clear-cut good and evil. For a game with such depth, Witcher 3 is surprisingly accessible even for casual players, and that's a huge reason why it became so popular. It simply appeals to a broad audience. Sure, not every mechanic runs deep. Crafting feels rather cosmetic. The economy is pretty broken, as you'll never run out of money, and the open world never motivates you enough to explore, as all points of interest are marked on the map. However, all in one, the gameplay mechanics are pretty solid and quite engaging. It never overwhelms, and once you learn it, you know the drill and can enjoy the game. Specifically at this point, the immersion suffers a lot compared to games like Kingdom Come Deliverance or Gothic. But it also can be of advantage. I mean, no matter how much you love Kingdom Come Deliverance, its gameplay is hardcore and can be really frustrating. You either dive in completely or step away. Half measures won't cut it. Meanwhile, Witcher 3 allows you to adjust difficulty anytime. It just comes that we are not always in the mood for hardcore battles. After a difficult working day, some of us simply want to relax and enjoy the story. Just like GTA 5, Witcher 3 offers accessibility for everyone and capitalizes on it without becoming primitive. Witcher 3 has pushed video game standards to a whole new level. After Witcher 3 open worlds couldn't just stay the same anymore, they had to be meaningful. Skyrim, released back in 2011, has been groundbreaking for its time, but compared to Witcher 3, it feels shallow. You never experience any tough decisions. You never witness any engaging dialogues. You never see any unpredictable outcomes based on your decisions. Many games tried to follow into Witcher 3's footsteps. Horizon Zero Dawn, Ghost of Tsushima, Assassin's Creed Origins, and Valhalla. Each of them is visually stunning, ambitious, and fun to play. But in these titles, quantity outweighs the quality. They provide many activities, but never go deep enough. And most important, they don't emotionally pull you in like The Witcher 3 did. I mean, when, if ever, we have experienced someone passionately brought up about Horizon Zero Dawn? Or can you name even one truly memorable character from Assassin's Creed Origins? Honestly, I struggle to recall any. Compare that to Witcher 3. Think about Yennifer, how fiercely fans debated her character, calling her selfish and manipulative, years after the game's release. This kind of passion only happens when players are deeply invested in a game. Sadly, the other titles I mentioned don't evoke the same level of emotional engagement. Another absolutely standout aspect of The Witcher 3 is the way its setting, dialogue, and music blend together so seamlessly. First, the dialogues. Witcher 3 breaks away from the usual hero's journey. You're not a knight of justice rescuing the helpless from monsters. People can admire or despise you, others want to take advantage of you. The conversations can be rough and unpredictable. That all strongly reminds on the Gothic series, which is not a coincidence. Many of the developers from CD Projekt Red were Gothic fans themselves.
Military camp. No locals allowed without the express consent of the garrison commander.
I look like a local to you?
You look like trouble.
Dead wrong. I make trouble go away.
Halt! Are you one of the hands on Lobart's farm? I never seen you here.
I haven't been with Lobart for long.
What you want in the city?
I've come to join the militia.
That's a good one. Try that at the other gate. Maybe they'll buy that from you.
Second, the music. Let's not even debate this. The music in Witcher 3 is one of the best video game soundtracks of all time. Haunting battle drums, tender ballads, fun or tragedy. You hear that music and your attention is tied totally with the game.
Damn what the stars are. Rend my heart open, then your love profess. A winding, weaving fate to which we both attend.
Third, and most important, the setting. In my recent video on Clair Obscur Expedition 33, we explored how a game can captivate players right from the start with a striking and stylish presentation. The Witcher 3 achieved something very similar, but in its own way. The world building is heavily inspired from the Slavic mythology, something we rarely see in mainstream video games. Based on the novels by Polish author Andrzej Sapkowski, the Witcher series took a regional fantasy saga and turned it into a global phenomenon. For many players, Witcher 3 has been their very first encounter with Slavic folklore and the Polish storytelling. The overwhelming success of this game even has triggered a renaissance for Sapkowski's books and made this Polish novels popular all around the world. Now, let's be honest. Poland wasn't exactly on the global radar for fantasy literature or blockbuster game development. But Witcher 3 changed everything. CD Projekt Red became a household name, and Polish developers became internationally accepted and appraised. Suddenly, Slavic culture, myths, and visual aesthetics were at the very center in mainstream gaming. Witcher 3 sparked a wave of curiosity, and the players started digging deeper, discovering other Eastern European gems like Kingdom Come Deliverance and Dying Light. Even long-standing series like Metro and Stalker were given new momentum and have been reawakened. And all that started with Witcher 3. This is not just a gaming milestone, that's a cultural shift, one that goes far beyond trophies and Metacritic scores. In a time when new titles drop every day and the attention span gets shorter, it is remarkable how Witcher 3 still remains in the spotlight. So here we are, 10 years later, still praising the White Wolf, still wandering through Novigrad, still haunted by Bloody Baron's tragedy, still amazed by everything this game gave us. Thank you, CD Projekt Red, and happy anniversary, Witcher 3. So much of my thoughts on Witcher 3, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, and thank you for tuning on the ARRIO channel.